More than 700,000 visitors and residents found their adventure at the 2016 Rose Parade and Rose Bowl game. It's not only the world's premier New Year celebration, it's also weeks of planning and preparation to showcase the grandeur of Pasadena's biggest event. Bringing the whole city together, this year featured Pasadena's new mayor, Terry Tornick, a football showdown between Stanford and Iowa, legendary filmmaker Ken Burns, and how could we forget, 40 floats, 19 equestrian groups, and 19 marching bands. But it's not all roses when building these engineering feats. Let's check out what it takes to create a Rose Parade float.
The theme of the parade this year is Find Your Adventure, and there's so many unique floats in the parade. We are in charge of decorating 9 floats out here in Pasadena this year. We start 2 weeks after the beginning of the new year, designing the float, recruiting volunteers, working on arrangements to make it happen with 5,000 volunteers.
My wife and I are from Akron, Ohio. We come out for the full week of decorating. That's 6 days of decorating.
We've worked on about 5 different floats, so it's been a good experience. And all of this is volunteer work. There's a lot of pride in knowing that we have done this sign, or knowing that we worked on those peacocks back there, or knowing that we've worked on the South Dakota float and what we did there.
Beginning on December the 5th is when we start putting all the seed and the things that aren't actually alive. And that goes very slow because many of the things are flowers and they have to be cut. So we have hundreds of people sitting at a table cutting flowers. My specialty is animals and using grasses and detail work, and I fix things that other people have missed or possibly somehow messed up. You know, get in there with a razor blade and a pair of tweezers and fix everything. So.
For 3 years we've been planning this, that during our year we would be down here to work the float and be here to be a part of the Rose Parade. This float is going to have more Shrine Hospital patients on it than we've ever had. We've got Fezzi running it, and he's our mascot, so he's the bear up in the front end that's going to run the show. Getting up on the scaffolding and putting those mums up there on the top of that heart, that was kind of interesting.
We have junior Rotarians at the high school called the Interact Club, and really we bring them up to help them, give them an experience on giving service to the community. We spend a lot of time in our communities helping other people, but with your standard type of service opportunities. This is something unique for the kids to say they've done at least once in their life, to decorate a float for a parade.
Participation in the parade is by invitation from the Tournament of Roses only, so we have to be invited back every year. We've been in the parade since 1949. What keeps bringing Cal Poly back, what makes us have a high entertainment value in tournaments' eyes, is the passion and ingenuity that this group of college kids brings to the event. Such fresh minds, and I think that really sets us apart from the other builders. We always strive for the fun, the creative, the new in our floats, and that's what makes us popular to the viewers. So our float is entirely student-run and student-built. The design is done by students. We start in February with a concept contest. We solicit concepts from anyone we can reach out to, and we narrow down that concept, pick our top choice, and then we move forward with that. We push it through a design process where we refine the idea, choose the detailed elements, choose what details we want on the float, and then we push that to our construction team, who does all of the internals of the float. They work on the engines, they work on the chassis, they build the frame, all the steel frame construction from the ground up, and that's an entirely student-run process. This is 100% student-produced.
Last year was our first year participating, and we came out with the Cradle of Civilization as the theme of the float. So this year we're continuing with part 2, which is basically saying, go travel to Armenia and discover Armenia. And on the day of January 1st, where America's celebration is, we'll be releasing doves symbolizing peace on earth, which I think the planet nowadays needs it.
By September, we have our theme and concept pretty much narrowed down, and then the design process begins, then the construction afterwards. It takes almost a year, but after September, it really becomes a lot more time consuming, and so we are here on a weekly basis, And then towards December, we are here on daily basis. This is so important to be in a medium which is watched for by over 50 million people, not just in the United States. This is a great medium for us to educate people about who Sikh Americans are, what the turban stands for, and how long we have been here. We've been in this country for over 125 years. This is a medium that we feel is absolutely wonderful for us to share who we are and what we stand for, and that we are as proud Americans as any other minority.
Marching bands are an honored tradition for any parade, but only the best of the best are invited to participate in the Rose Parade. Before they take to the streets of Colorado and Orange Grove, visiting bands, both local and international, head to Pasadena City College to perform at BandFest, a 36-year-old music celebration.
Well, today is the BandFest, which started yesterday. We have 3 sessions in all. The first session was yesterday, and today we've had one in the morning, and we have one right now. It's an opportunity for spectators and guests to listen and watch some of the greatest bands, not only in the nation, but in the world.
Live on Green is a new 3-day festival held at the Pasadena Convention Center. Free and family-friendly, the festival included games and entertainment, special guest speakers and demonstrations, and educational displays for attendees to explore and discover.
So we have actually taken over the entire property here at Pasadena Convention Center, from the conference center to the ballrooms and exhibit halls, as well as all of the plazas outside.
Live on Green is a good introduction to come and explore your national parks. There's a station where you can learn about wildlife, where you can find your favorite national park and market. You can actually go up a rock climbing wall. You can visit a small planetarium and learn about the stars. And you can do all kinds of fun recreational activities. Think of it as your ticket to your national parks.
Imagine driving a Rose Parade float. This is the kind of cage that you're in. Of course, on actual parade day, be completely covered and not able to see at all, guided by the pink line. So this is our Live on Green parade float, and the inspiration behind this was to really show the incredible engineering and artistry that goes into every parade float. So we see them fully flowered on January 1st, but so much goes into them before that. So this shows you the actual wire caging as well as the netting that is the base for the floral decoration. And then as we go around to the front of the float here, or the back of the float, you'll see that there's a foam layer, then there's seeding that is done for dried materials, and then the actual flowers are added. And so this is a multi-step process, and that doesn't even mention any of the animation and the other kinds of engineering that go into these different floats. But we wanted to just show some of what it takes to become a float.
With all the festivities leading up to New Year's, we can't forget about the main events, the Rose Parade and the Rose Bowl game. Pasadena Media's Amanda Larsh was on location to get some behind-the-scenes action and to meet some of the dedicated parade goers lining the streets.
Let's find out from parade watchers why they come year after year and if they plan on being here for 2017.
This is actually my 33rd year doing this. I've been doing this since I was a little baby.
So you are very committed to the cause.
Very committed. It's a family tradition. We do it every year. Kids haven't seen nothing yet till these floats go by.
Yeah.
Every time I come here, I always remember when I was a little girl and my family took me here. The floats go by and you can smell all the roses.
There's a basketball one, and it was full. It was cool. They had basketball in the air going into the basket.
You got to get someone that's definitely committed to coming down here and being in the cold. My dad kind of comes down here 3 to 4 days before even New Year starts to actually get the spot. We cook and do the ping pong, and It's a long process, but if you're dedicated, you know, it's definitely worth it.
Is it more fun camping out or buying tickets?
Well, at this age, it's more fun buying
I'm
tickets.
buying tickets. It really is. Well, I think it's all part of the, the experience, coming to Pasadena and being a part of the parade. As camping out adds one different element to it, and then coming here and sitting in the grandstands is a different element to it. So I says it's all part of the Pasadena experience, viewing, the Rose Parade. With the Tournament of Roses, it's an absolutely fantastic organization. The parade really puts Pasadena in an absolutely wonderful spotlight. Just
January
wonderful.
1 in Pasadena never disappoints.
Who could ask for even a more beautiful day?
It's the best parade in the world, so it's just a great opportunity to be affiliated with really wonderful people. Everybody has a different role every 2 years, and so this year I happen to be managing television and radio, and so they'll be stepping up into other roles for next year.
So have you guys seen the parade on TV before?
Yes, every year.
Was it different seeing it in person?
It was. It was a lot more exciting. It was, it was right there. So it was really fun. And I'm usually in and out, in and out, in and out. So today I was able to watch the whole parade.
I liked it when the Iowa band came by.
What about Star Wars?
Oh, and I also the Star Wars float was awesome.
What is it like being a white coat with the Tournament of Roses?
It's actually pretty cool. You get to interact with people from all over the country. We do the whole operation of the parade from A to Z. With a little bit of help in between. So it's so amazing how many people watch this parade, and everybody tells me how wonderful it is, and especially when they see it in person. It's a whole different experience than seeing it on TV, and it's nothing like it in the world. Usually I always keep an eye on the self-built floats because they're built with a lot of volunteers, and I say they're built with a lot of love.
What's your biggest tip for people who come to the Rose Parade who've never been before?
Come early and be on time and wear layers.
We'll be here at Pasadena ready to bring you the fun and excitement of Rose Parade 2017.
It is Rose Bowl game day here in beautiful Pasadena, and I'm standing here with Police Deputy Chief Darryl Qualls. Darryl, tell me a little bit about your thoughts today.
William, we had a wonderful game here at the Rose Bowl. The festivities are great. The Rose Bowl looks beautiful. We had crowds from Stanford, we had crowds from Iowa, and I think they enjoyed their day here at the Rose Bowl.
Most of the year until they lost to Michigan State. They clearly became a motivated football team when they went up to Ann Arbor. We wondered how they would show up, not making the playoffs. They came back with that same fire today against Notre Dame. Plenty of incentive. The guys that were playing in the NFL eventually.
The tournament put in a spectacular show, just as they usually do. And then we were able to transition here to the football game. And what a great atmosphere America Stadium gives us.
Things went very, very well, in part because of the extraordinary planning from Lieutenant Shute and the event planning team. As you well know, just an exceptional group of professionals. We've been pushing See Something, Say Something for the last couple of years. I'm pleased to tell you it paid off very, very well for us. We had a couple of calls from folks. It worked out pretty well. We were allowed to run it to ground and to make sure that it wasn't a threat to the public or people associated with the game or the event.
The only place in the world that's actually doing a celebration on New Year's Day is Pasadena. So the entire world is focused on Pasadena.
You came all the way from Iowa?
Yeah.
Wow. Is this your first time to California?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think?
It's really cool here.
It's really cool.
Thank you to the City of Pasadena for another great, beautiful day and for the spectacular way that this Rose Bowl looks. We're looking forward to a great game. Go Cardinal.
First time here in Pasadena. Last time the Hawkeyes were here, I was 4 years old, so I'm pumped up.
Pasadena really does own New Year's, and we know how to celebrate it, and it's a perfect illustration of the kind of volunteer energy that we invest in our activities. And I just had a wonderful time, and it's honestly a privilege to represent the city of Pasadena as its mayor.
Well, it's been just a fabulous day here in beautiful Pasadena. It's been another great America's New Year's celebration, first with our Rose Parade, and then with the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl game. I'm William Boyer for the City of Pasadena, KPAS, your news and information station. Thank you for tuning in. Happy New Year, everybody.